Very good evening to you and welcome to Breaking Today. My name is Frederick Muitiriri and my sign language interpreter tonight is Tracy Dorcas. These are the highlights of the stories that are making headlines today.
ODM leader Raila Odinga slams leaders making fake promises to the youth. Motorists who use the Nairobi Expressway, which is under construction, should expect to pay as much as 1,798 shillings in toll fees for every journey made for the next 27 years. And the World Health Organization is worried that there is not enough vaccine right now to even serve those who are most at risk.
All right, a warm welcome to our broadcast. Just to remind you that we are live on Facebook, on Twitter, and on our YouTube channel as Switch TV News. Do join us on those platforms. All right, we start with the question of the day. Do you think the Jubilee government has delivered its manifesto? Do you think the Jubilee government has delivered in its manifesto? Talk to us on 111 444 111. Tweet us at Switch TV Kenya at Fred Muitiriri. The reason why I'm asking that question is because Raila Odinga has said the Jubilee government has not kept its promises. However, we start from where Uhuru Kenyatta was in Kajiado County, where President Uhuru Kenyatta has said that he's still in charge of the Kenyan government, even as leaders continue to criticize his tenure as the president. Uhuru has said his tenure ends in 2022, and as at now, he will control the government according to his agenda. Uhuru has said this during the commissioning of the construction of a leadership police academy and 210 housing units in Ngong. The project, which is funded by the Central Bank of Kenya at 1 billion shillings, is set to be completed by the end of 2021. Upon completion, the academy will provide the National Police Service with modern facilities for training and of its senior leadership. In addition, the police officers will benefit from a state-of-the-art conference hall with a capacity of 450 seats, a kitchen, a dining room, and a sports center and equipment.
For the commencement of the construction of an institution that is positioned to radically change the approach to police leadership and training, and that is the National Police Service Leadership Academy. This institution is part of our national response to the very tough and very different and difficult demands on the police needs in an ever-evolving society. The institution is tipped to act as the public's guardian of excellence in policing that will provide a framework to enable a transformation of the culture of learning in the police service. The idea of the Leadership Academy was born out of my administration's desire to strengthen the leadership of our police service.
Now, in other news, Raila Odinga now claims that the Jubilee government has failed in delivering its manifesto. Speaking during the issuance of certificate to the outgoing KUSO leaders, Odinga also slammed Deputy President William Ruto for what he terms as political hypocrisy during his recent political meetings. Robert Ouma with more details.
Makofi, tafadhali. Thank you very much.
ODM leader Raila Odinga has slammed Deputy President William Ruto for what he termed as political hypocrisy for not fulfilling his promises.
You've forgotten about what you promised. Now you're promising wheelbarrows. Instead, this is what is called political hypocrisy.
Thank you, madam, for that.
Odinga further added that the Jubilee government has failed in his administration, adding that all the promises that they made during the campaigns were clickbait to lure Kenyan voters.
What do you do with the wheelbarrow? You spent so many years of training his knee, and somebody tells you that something that will liberate this country is a wheelbarrow. What we need is innovation and opportunity for meaningful engagement, something that is well thought out, a proper program for transformation of our society from a second-class economy to a middle-income economy.
During the meeting with student leaders, Senator Rengo ridiculed the hustler narrative, accusing the Deputy President William Ruto of degrading Kenyan university graduates with the wheelbarrows.
And you know, this wheelbarrow narrative is not even old school. This is degradation. It's like admiring the Stone Age man when people are going to the moon.
Anthony Manyara, the KUSO chairman, has drummed up support for the BBI, claiming that the youth are up and ready for the initiative. The leaders were speaking during the issuance of certificates to the outgoing KUSO leaders.
Go and create jobs, but then where do you create jobs? So we have to support something, objectives, that are likely to boost our economy. And those are enshrined in the BBI document.
It is now clear that the BBI has spread its route to the youth, even with the Kenyan University Student Organization promising to take part and playing their role in support of the initiative. Robert Omar, Switch TV, Nairobi.
Many thanks, Robert. Oh my God, back to the question of the day. I asked you, do you think the Jubilee government has delivered in its manifesto? Do you think the Jubilee government has delivered its manifestos? Talk to us on 111 444 111. That is on our SMS line. And on Twitter, at Switch TV Kenya and at Fred Mwitirid. Moving on, Maendeleo Party leader Dr. Alfred Mutua has today castigated theatrics between Deputy President William Ruto and Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka concerning land grabbing. The Machakos governor has expressed his displeasure at the fact that both politicians were fighting over who has grabbed what lands, with each team trying to portray the other as the bigger thief. Majibu Kitsao with the details.
In the political game, one thing you are guaranteed is you never know when or how your competitor will strike. As long as one remains politically relevant, nothing can stop, even when it means mudslinging one another. Machakos, the epicenter of a political battle which now is being used by politicians to trade jabs and shaming one another.
Jua hivi majuzi tuliona Mheshimiwa Ruto na Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka wakichongoana nani muizi mkubwa wa mashamba. Ruto akasema Kalonzo ameiba shamba kule Yata. Kalonzo akasema Ruto ni Arab mashamba.
Mutua continued to say that he wished the two politicians were competing over who brought more developments to the region, from boreholes, infrastructure or empowered wananchi, rather than competing over who grabbed more land than the other. Dr. Mutua was speaking during a rally in Machakos town after the successful clearance of Honorable Mutua Katuku as the Maendeleo Chapchap Party senatorial candidate for the March 18th by-elections.
Badala ya kuchongwana kuhusu nani muizi kuliko mwingine, si wangekuwa angechongwana ni nani amelete factory na amewaandika vijana wengi kazi.
Mr. Katuku will be fighting to take over from the late Senator Kabaka against Jubilee candidate Agnes Kavindu and UDA candidate Abanas Ngengele. Majibu Kitsao for Switch TV.
Many thanks, Majibu. Now we go all the way to Chuka, where motherhood can be quite hectic, especially when you have to juggle between attending to your baby's needs and setting foot in the business field. Now, in Tharaka Nithi County, mothers in Chuka Market can breathe a sigh of relief. The county government has constructed a daycare center where children are taken care of as their mothers go about their business. Harriet Chimea has more details.
To the eye, and even better, creche, or also termed as a daycare center for babies, has been constructed by the Tharaka Nithi County government within Chuka Market. The nursery, constructed inside the 2-story ultra-modern market, is fitted with mattresses, has toys and colorful chairs neatly designed to accommodate 50 babies at a time from early morning to late in the evening.
Kama mimi niko na mtoto mmoja wa miaka 5, tunakunjanga na yeye namweka wapi huko kwa hiyo daycare. Na tumefurahi ndio hakuna pesa tunatoa huko. Ametuanjilia watu wa county. Kazi yako nilete mtoto saa 2, ikifika saa 10 unachukua mtoto unapeleka nyumbani.
It is a norm for most women in small-scale businesses to quit after giving birth, making it impossible to resume after several months. However, women can now conveniently and comfortably work without employing a babysitter or travel back home to take care of their children.
Tangu nianzie kumpeleka huyu mtoto wangu, alikuwa na 4 months, kwa sahi ako na 8 months. Kwa hivyo nimesavia pesa yote na ni mahali pazuri sababu kuna kwa kupea mtoto chakula, kuna rooms za kulalisha mtoto.
The county government has also employed 2 caregivers who attend to their children from morning to evening. According to the Health Act 2017, all employers are supposed to establish lactation rooms in the workplace that are adequately provided with the necessary equipment and facilities that support women to combine work and breastfeeding. This act has come into life in Chuka Market, and the mothers have lauded the county government for the facility. Reporting for Switch TV, my name is Harriet Chimea.
A very good step there from Tharaka Nithi County. Now, coming back to Nairobi, where motorists who use the Nairobi Expressway, which is under construction, should expect to pay as much as 1,700 shillings in toll fees for every journey made for the next, wait for it, 27 years. The expressway, which is set to be complete by December 2022, is expected to ease traffic congestion along Mombasa Road and Uhuru Highway. And as a reporter Majibu Kitao narrates, the expressway has 9 toll stations and will feature 2 interchanges. Take a look.
Of the Nairobi Expressway along Mombasa Road is already ongoing, and as you can see, there's already a big hive of activities in this area. Now, the 27-kilometer expressway starts at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and ends in Westlands here in Nairobi. Now, according to reports given earlier by the Transport CSR James Masharia, is that the 62.2 billion Kenya shillings project is expected to be complete by December the year 2022.
A saloon car will pay a minimum of 116 Kenya shillings, while a trailer will pay as much as 1,550 Kenya shillings per journey made for the next 27 years. The weight of a vehicle, e.g. trailer, will however determine the toll charged.
Mwanzo serikali kwa sababu ya kujenga barabara ni maendeleo na ni nzuri kwa kuwa na barabara inapita juu, na ni kumaanisha ya kwamba inji yetu inazidi kuwa. Ila mimi swali langu lingekuwa ya kwamba kwa nini tulipie barabara na ila tunalipa ushuru? Nafikiri si jambo la busara kulipia barabara wakati tunalipa ushuru.
Kwangu mimi naona inafaa tulipe, kwa sababu tunasema mpe yake ile Kaisari, give Caesar what belong to Caesar. Kwa sababu tukiangalia ni project kubwa, hata kwenye kanisa huwa tunatoa sadaka. Kwangu itakuwa ni sawa.
The expressway will only serve 4 classes of vehicles, from light vehicles to heavy vehicles. 2-wheel and 3-wheel vehicles such as motorcycles and tuk-tuks are prohibited from using the expressway. Ambulances, police and military vehicles are exempted from paying the toll charges.
Now, the route will have 2 traffic lanes in either direction and will feature 10 interchanges.
Nafanya construction hii ya Nairobi Express. I think project inaendelea tu sawa, haina mambo mengi. And only what a large Kenyans wakwe tu wapole, wavumilie hiyo jam yenye iko. So tukishamaliza hii construction ya barabara ya juu itakuwa sawa. Maybe itapunguza jam. Pande mwingine Mombasa Road tunajua imekuwa experience jam mingi sana.
Kama imemalizika nini wananchi, ile barabara itakuwa mzuri. Sasa hakuna jamu, sasa watu watakuwa vile tunatembea tena, hata sisi tutafurahi sana.
Now, once this expressway is complete, it will only take you 15 minutes to travel the entire 27 kilometers from Lolongo to Westlands. Majibu Kitao for Switch TV.
All right, Majibu, that was a good story right there. Nairobi Expressway, you'll be paying 1,700 shillings for the next 27 years. Now, do you think the Jubilee government has delivered in its manifesto? Do you think the Jubilee government has delivered in its manifesto? Talk to us on 111 444 111, Twitters at Switch TV Kenya, at Fred Mwitiri. We take a short break. We'll be back with more in a short while. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back. Earlier on, I asked you, do you believe that Jubilee has delivered in its manifesto? This one is saying, my name is J. Mo from Wetavia. Yes, Jubilee has done what it promised to do, and I hope by the end of the term, Mr. President will have done a lot. Reminds me of Trump. Jubilee manifesto was a scam. In fact, I'll never vote again. Dirango Altanyandarwa. Jubilee has totally failed to deliver in its manifesto, and the blame should not be based on Raila Odinga. Okay, keep tweeting, keep writing your SMSs on 111 444 111. Moving on, Education Chief Administrative Secretary Zach Kinothia has called on members of parliament to partner with the government in building and developing the technical vocational and training education centers, TVETs, across the country. Speaking today at Kamukonji Technical and Vocation Training Center, the CAS has reiterated that young people should not stay in their houses, without a cause, adding that training education centers are a place they can change their lives by enrolling for short courses, adding that they provide avenues for employment creation.
In this country, to ensure that they do not let these institutions lag behind. The government can do so much. The government has done so much. The government gives over 50 million shillings. The government employs the teachers. The government pays for the students. The government protects the interests and the infrastructure. Young people should not stay in their houses, should not roam in the streets without a cause. This is a place they can change their lives. It takes you a year. It takes you 2 years. It will take you 3 years, according to the competence you want to gain here. And forever and ever, you will become an independent, income-earning, decent young man, young woman in this country, in this city, and you'll be able to survive.
In other news, 90 scouts in Narok County have been selected to join the Kenya Wildlife Service, that is KWS, for a 6-month program out of 4,263 people who had been shortlisted for the recruitment exercise. Lincoln Wambogo tells us more.
Addressing journalists during the recruitment exercise held at William Olentimama Stadium today, the Kenya Wildlife Service officer in charge, Dr. Francis Lesiola, has said that the new recruits who hail from Narok County will be placed on a 6-month engagement, during which they will be very instrumental in dissemination of information regarding human-animal conflict and movement of animals.
These are the persons who will be assisting in relaying and also disseminating information on human-wildlife conflict and also animal movement within the ecosystem that will be deployed.
The recruiting officer noted that the ratio will be 70% males and 30% females, and who must have a minimum qualification of Standard 8 certificate and be between the age of 18 and 35 years.
The number of applicants who have been shortlisted for this particular exercise, who are successful after application, were 4,263, and that is a high number because of the initial advertisement. We expect, we advertise from a Standard 8 leavers all the way to upper grade.
However, the recruiting officer noted some challenges, including applicants carrying photocopies of their certificates and documents instead of original copies. Lawrence Nkuruma, a resident, raised a question of why many people had been shortlisted, yet only a few slots were needed, and lamented that most of the youth had been locked out after the details in their identification cards failed to match with the list given by KWS.
Na ile kitu ambayo inatushangaza ni tumekuwa shortlisted 5,000 people. Na ile namba inatarajiwa kuchukuliwa it is less than 200.
This exercise follows a presidential address on March 2020 when President Kenyatta launched the program to cushion youth from the effects of COVID-19. Lincoln Wambogo, Switch TV.
All right, we are about to go to US. Before you go to US, Josville Masika is saying, yes, Jubilee government has failed by a lot. Once again, thank you, man. James, I can see your tweet. Sobo Kobo, today is my birthday, guys. Wishing me a happy birthday today, turning 24 years old. Okay, happy birthday from your elders. Okay, US President Joe Biden says mass vaccination should become available in spring, and that he's confident that they will be vaccinating at least 1 million people a day in the next few weeks. During a press conference at the White House, the president also announced the creation of a director of Made in America role at the White House before signing an executive order giving American companies and products priority in contracting with the federal government.
I think it'll be this spring. I think we'll be able to do that this spring. And but it's going to be a logistical challenge that exceeds anything we've ever tried in this country. But I think we can do that. So I'm quite confident that we will be in a position within the next 3 weeks or so to be vaccinating people at the range of 1 million a day or in excess of that. If an agency wants to issue a waiver to say we're not going to buy an American product as part of this project, we're going to buy a foreign product, they have to come to the White House and explain it to us. The executive action I'm signing today will not only require that companies make more of their components in America, but that the value of those components is contributing to our economy, measured by things like a number of American jobs created and or supported. Today, I'm creating a director of Made in America at the White House Office of Management and Budget, who will oversee our All of Government Made in America initiative. That starts with stopping federal agencies from waiving Buy American requirements with impunity, has been going on.
And from America, we go straight to Cliff, who is in Kenya, to tell us more in the business world.
Business stories of the day. Good evening, I'm Clifford Ndubi. Under Sustainable Development Goals SDGs, which set out to see a world free from poverty, hunger and disease, which have become a global reference point for development, SDG 6 is to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all, while SDG 11 talks about making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable. Now, the National Construction Authority is looking at compliance with the NCA Act and regulations and all its provisional means, as well as coordinated and developed construction industry.
We assembled here this morning to address the issue of the water, construction within the water sector. We have had such a forum with the Ministry of Energy. We also had the same with the Ministry of Infrastructure. And the whole idea is we want to approach this aspect of construction in a very holistic manner, because the National Construction Authority is mandated to actually oversee, direct, guide construction within the country.
Now, away from that, the Kenya Revenue Authority has defended the implementation of the new Integrated Customs Management System, ICMS, which cargo importers blame for constant delays while clearing imports at the port of Mombasa. Speaking during the celebration of this year's International Customs Day, ICD, Kenya Revenue Authority Southern Region Coordinator Joseph Tonui acknowledged the hiccups in the new system implementation, even as he assured that the minor challenges will not derail cargo clearance at the port. KRA's Customs and Border Control Department is currently implementing the ICMS meant to replace the 13-year-old Simba system, hoping to seal tax cheats and make trade processes seamless.
I wish to note that the department could not have collected this amount of money without the implementation of stringent border control measures, as I said. The use of technology and proactivity of custom officers who have been vigilant to ensure contraband trade is contained at the port of Mombasa has made the port less attractive for smuggling and other international economic crimes.
We are rolling out a new system. It's called the ICMS, Integrated Customs Management System. But as we are rolling out this particular system, we are also running it parallel to the old system, the Simba system. So we have already piloted on the three key aspects. Number one, the motor vehicle is currently only fully on the ICMS system. Number two, we have what is called conventional cargo. It's currently fully on ICMS system. And we are currently piloting the containerized cargo on ICMS system. The bottom line is, as we are rolling out the ICMS system, we are running it concurrent with the old system.
And finally, the government of Kenya, through the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation, has embarked on a mission to improve sanitation services in the Nairobi city. One of the measures put in place to solve the crisis is expanding and rehabilitating Dandora Estate wastewater treatment plant in Ruai. The project entails construction of 7 ponds, which will treat an additional 20 million liters of wastewater daily, and a 13-kilometer masonry boundary wall. The wall will help prevent encroachment into the wastewater treatment plant.
Needed to happen as soon as the encroachers had moved away from here was to ensure that there was a perimeter wall that gave security to this area to avoid any future encroachment. And that work is ongoing currently at about 30%, with a target date of completing the perimeter wall in the coming 3 months. Infrastructure and investment was able to cater for 160,000 meter cube of waste being treated. This current location where we are at, with this new investment, will be able to handle an additional 20,000 cubic meters of waste being.
Right, that story by Cicely Karaoke brings us to the end of our business stories of the day. Up next is sports news. The CHAN competition is up and kicking. The English Premier League is on tonight. Arsenal taking on Southampton. And I can guarantee you Arsenal is winning tonight. But that will be another talk for tomorrow. Up next is sports news with Frederick Muitiriri.
All right, many thanks, Cleve. Now, DR Congo sealed a place in the quarterfinals of the African Nations Championship tournament with a 2-1 win over Niger to finish top of Group B with 7 points. At the Stade Amadou Ahijo Stadium, Yaounde, goals from John Kadima Kabangu and Amede Masasi were enough to seal progression for DR Congo at the expense of their two opponents, who scored their goal through Mosi Issa Moussa. Now to the good news of the evening. Arsenal will be looking for a payback. Yes, a payback. And they take on Southampton tonight at St. Mary's Stadium for their Premier League tie tonight. Over the weekend, Southampton knocked Arsenal out of the FA Cup competition after overcoming Gunners by a solitary own goal from Gabriel in the 24th minute. Gunners talisman Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang